Hi, I'm Christina, and I want to welcome you to this episode of Health, Wealth, and Happiness Interviews to Inspire. This episode is sponsored by Walk and Talk with Avalon podcast, mindful motivation, everyday inspiration. Our next guest is a retired lawyer and judge who left the legal field and went on to become an entrepreneur and is the founder of Sharman Enterprises. She believes in the importance of exercise for maintaining mobility and reducing stress, with walking as her preferred activity. Sharman enjoys the fresh air, the variety of flowers and trees, and the sounds of the birds, all which help clear her mind. When it comes to wealth, Sharman emphasizes that it's not about money, but about the richness of family, friends, and memorable experiences. The more you chase money, the further it will get away from you, as wealth is not limited to money or possessions. She finds happiness in spending time with loved ones, sharing laughs, and creating priceless memories, especially through tough times. Introducing our next guest, Sharman.
Hello, Christina. How are you today?
Terrific. I am so excited to have you here, and I know our viewers and listeners are too.
Okay, I'm excited to be here. A little nervous, but I'm excited to be here. Well, you pronounce my name Sharman, just like the stuff you buy in the store. That's exactly how you pronounce it. And I'm born and raised in Washington, D.C. So if you've never seen a native Washingtonian before, this is what one looks like. I'm a native Washingtonian. And I'm the only child, so I made sure I had at least two, because it can be kind of lonely being the only child. I like to let people know, because they hear, oh, you're a lawyer, you're a judge, you must be very stuffy and conservative. And I'm like, no, that's why I have blue hair. I'm not conservative. And I really like Star Wars, Star Trek, and Marvel. Those are movies I really like to watch, because you just sit there, you just take it in. Yeah, there's a guy that's purple and carries a glove, and then you just enjoy yourself. And I like to enjoy myself.
Sharman, your health word is exercise, and particularly walking. When did you start walking?
I started walking by accident. Um, the transmission in my car went. And I was like, okay, well, why don't we just start walking? So I started walking small things like 3 or 4 blocks and come back home. And then I kept adding more on and adding more on, going 5 blocks and coming back home. And what I found is that I really like being outside in the air. I live in the city, so I'm walking around. You see people's homes, how they decorate them for the holidays. I noticed one time I went out walking and I counted the different varieties of trees, and there were like 20. So that's how it started, just walking little spaces at a time, small distances. And then eventually I got up to like 5 miles. And I walk just about everywhere, except if it's a really long distance, you have to get on the car or the subway or the bus. But I walk a lot. I do it every day, weather permitting, about a minimum of 3 miles. I did 3 miles this morning, and I really like it. I really enjoyed that walking, that exercise.
Wow, that's so much fun, especially in the city. I mean, one of the things I find, even for myself when I'm driving, I always have to take different paths. When I'm walking, I have to take different paths. I can't do the same path.
Yes. I take different paths for safety reasons, and I go at different times of the day because you don't know who's watching you. But I enjoy it. It helps me clear my mind. I do not have earbuds in. It's just me and my thoughts. Me and my thoughts. No earbuds, no music. I'm just walking and just enjoying what I'm seeing.
Anybody in your family joined you on these walks, or friends?
Sometimes my daughter wants to join me, but she'll say, how far are you walking? Because she won't walk as far as I do. She's like, how far are you walking? And she wants to do a short distance. And I'm like, okay, if you want to walk with me, I'll do a short distance today. Yeah, but that's the only person who will join me.
Have you learned exercise other than walking from your family or friends, other influences other than walking that you've had?
I I wasn't influenced by friends or family members. It was just something I wanted to do to be healthy, to make sure that things were working the way that they did, so I can keep moving. Mobility is important to me, and keep your heart strong. When I'm not walking, then I do strength exercises. But I wasn't influenced by anyone other than this is something I want to do. I want to do this. It doesn't cost me anything. It doesn't cost me equipment. All it costs me is time and a pedometer. And you can get a pedometer on cell phone as an app. I happen to use my Apple Watch for my pedometer. And you do it every day. It's just simple.
How long have you been doing that now?
Since like 2019.
Okay.
Yeah, 2019. And now I'm getting rewarded for all that walking through the life insurance program that I have. They reward me with Amazon gift cards, things like that. Cards so I can go shopping for fruits and vegetables, healthy food. And, so I'm like, yeah, I could when I found out about that program with the life insurance, I'm like, "I want that. Give me points and everything for being healthy. I'm gonna do it anyway."
Absolutely. That I actually haven't I've heard of different, benefits that you could get, but I haven't heard of this one yet. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yes, it is. I found out, about it through a friend of mine.
And personally, what benefits have you realized within yourself now that you're walking all the time?
Hmm. Okay, personally, what have I noticed? Well, I noticed that if I don't walk, I miss it, like in the winter when it gets really cold. I'm like, I can't, it's too cold to walk. I miss it. Physically, my heart is stronger. My legs have gotten stronger. My stamina is stronger than it was before I walk. Because my daughter's like, "Will you slow down?" When we're out shopping, "Aren't you tired yet?" No, no, let's keep going. Yeah, so I have more stamina. I have more stamina now that I walk, and it keeps my weight kind of even, in between a range, and that's important to me. Do not want to be one of those people that gets old and all they do is just let the weight just come. I did not want to be that kind of person.
Yeah, and the stamina. It's so funny how many times you hear it's like, "Well, when you exercise, you'll have more energy." And people are like, "But I'm so tired to get up to the exercise." But I think walking is, it's we start doing it when we're about 1 years old. So it's a great,
Yes. Yeah,
great
it was great, and, I missed it after I had surgery because they told me, "Oh, no, you can't walk just yet. You have to we want you to start out slow." And I really missed it. That was about a month and a half where they told me, "No, no walking, until your body recovers from the surgery."
So if somebody wanted to start on their walking journey today, what advice would you give to someone?
Okay, get walking shoes. The shoes that you have, you can get the basketball shoes, the chucks, they're not going to support your feet. You need a good walking shoe that has cushioning in it. I have three pair, one for winter and two for summer. And I can feel the cushioning in my shoes as I walk. And you need that because sometimes you don't realize the impact that you're having as your foot strikes the pavement. And so that is the first thing I would recommend is you get the right walking shoe. The second thing I would recommend, and it took me a while to recognize it, is that the exercise clothes that you see in the store, the moisture wicking clothes, the dry weave clothes, yeah, you need those. You need those. They work. They're just not trying to sell you something, which is what I thought. They just want me to buy this, especially in the summer because you're perspiring. A cotton t-shirt, your perspiration is going to stick to you and you may pass out. That almost happened to me twice. And that's why I started buying the exercise tops and pants and the drive weave so that the air can go through and I could stay cool.
That is great advice. Even just to hear what you said is, it's not just a marketing ploy.
Yeah,
It's
that's what I thought. I thought it was a marketing ploy. I'm like, okay. This works. Yeah, I do need this. So I started buying those.
next time I'm in DC, I'll hop on the sidewalk with you and we'll get going
There you
together.
go. Yeah, I know. I got a couple of rules. If sometimes traffic can turn into music because I don't hear it, or we can go a quieter way down the side street. Either way, whatever you want to do.
Sharman's wealth word is no worries. Sharman, what is your secret to no worries and your word being wealth?
Okay. My secret to being no worries is that I learned that as long as you have enough money to take care of your needs and you don't worry, you have wealth. And that number can be different for different people. Some people it's $1 million. Some people it's like $5,000 a month. Some people it may be even less than that. But if you have peace of mind, your bills are paid, your needs are taken care of, to me that is wealth. So you're not worried about it. You're not sitting there stressing about where's the next dollar coming from? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? When you get to that point, wherever that point is, to me, that is wealth.
Now, as a retired judge and lawyer, you've seen all walks of life. How would you say to some of the people that you've seen who are struggling, how to not have worries?
You need to find a vehicle that's going to provide you with the amount of income that you want to have and the lifestyle that you want to have. And sometimes that's not going to be a job. It's not going to be a job. Open your mind to opportunity, open your mind to other ways of bringing in income other than having a job. We have all brought in, me included, that you have to have a job in order to survive, and you don't. You can depend on yourself. Start a business. Get some help starting the business. There's so much help now, especially now with the internet. And a lot of people think, oh, it's going to cost me a lot of money to start a business. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. There's so many resources online that will help you. Free resources. I love the word free. Free resources that are out there that will help you get the money that you need so that you live from a place of no worries. And that was something that I did. I found an opportunity that put me in a place where I had no worries about wealth. And I like where I'm sitting. And I like to bring other people along with me. Like, you need to see what I have so you can have no worries also. That can be your word, no worries.
Now, with your current enterprise, one of the things that you do teach is the quality of life.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Okay, quality of life. Wow. Oh, people throw that word around. Let me summarize what quality of life means. That first of all, you're enjoying life. A lot of people, they don't enjoy their lives. They just go about robotically doing things from day in and day out. And they do it because they don't know any better. They do it out of fear of change. They do it out of so many of the wrong reasons. So, quality of life is when you have flexibility, it's when you enjoying your life, you're smiling, you want to get up in the morning, you want to go about doing whatever it is that you're going to do that day. That is quality of life. Quality of life also includes, hey, take a vacation. People don't take vacations. Self-care is quality of life. Self-care doesn't always have to be about a vacation. I remember one day I have a pool. Yes, I have a pool in my backyard that you inflate. Okay. It's one of those, but it's big enough for 3 adults to sit in. All right. So I'm not talking about an in-ground pool. And so I put water in it in the morning, fill it up. It takes a couple of hours to fill up. Then I went out one day about 2 o'clock after the water had gotten warm. And I was just laying back in the pool, enjoying the cool water. And I looked up and I had my umbrella open up on my deck for my table. And it was a tree and an umbrella. And I just like that was to me, that was quality of life. That was quality of life, just sitting in that pool. Granted, like I said, it wasn't an in-ground pool, but that was okay. That was something I wanted to do. I had a glass of wine, I had music playing, and I just sat there and relaxed. That to me is quality of life. Quality of life doesn't always have to be the jet and the big cars and traveling to exotic places and wearing designer clothes for a quality of life. Quality of life is if you are happy with what you're doing, how you're living, you have joy, and you can share that with other people. That's quality of life to me.
That's a beautiful definition. I can just see the no worries as you're sitting sipping
I
in the
was. And the real funny part was, I like I said, I live in the city. I live on a corner lot at a busy intersection, but I have 6 foot fence. So nobody could see me, and you could hear all this traffic, but I have my Bridgerton music playing in the background, my glass of wine, and I was so relaxed and I was laughing like people have no idea I'm sitting here in this pool. So that was funny to me.
So have you always had this no worries attitude?
No, I have not. I used to worry even when I worked. Think about that. You work, you know you're going to get paid every 2 weeks when you have a job. Every 2 weeks or once a month, whatever your pay schedule is. And you're still trying to scrimp and scrimp because, ooh, I spent too much on the weekend. And trying to make sure your money stretches to do what it is that you need to do. So no, I haven't always had that mindset. That was something I grew into to have.
It's interesting too, the no worries philosophy, because just like you said, it doesn't always have to be about the jets and the designer clothes. Sometimes we get driven and striving towards this when we stop and we look at, what do I already have?
Hmm.
I bought this because at that time it was going to make me happy. So why don't I just enjoy what it is that I have?
Enjoy, yeah, yeah, enjoy what you have. Or if you don't like it anymore, you can always donate it. To me, I get so much joy donating things. One of my friends is part of an organization called Suited for a Change, and what they do is they collect women's clothes to give to other women who are maybe coming out of the homeless shelter, and so they can go out and find jobs, and just to give them stuff that I don't want anymore, it makes me happy because I'm helping somebody else. I don't want it anymore. There's nothing wrong with it. I just don't want it anymore. I don't want it. So I give it to someone who can really benefit from that. One year, I know my family did that when my ex-husband passed away. I mean, he was talk about sneakerhead. He was a suit head, suits, and ties. And we gave away we had 2 cars full of clothes, and we took it to the men's shelter. And I found out later that one of the guys in the shelter wore a suit and he got a job. And I'm like, that's great. That made me feel good. That made me feel good. It made the whole family feel good that we helped somebody move to another level in his life to get to something better because he was in the shelter, but he got a job, so now he can move out of the shelter and start on whatever is his quality of life. And, quality of life, Christina, also includes family and friends. People forget about people. They look at stuff, and stuff is nice, but people in your life are priceless. And they can bring you, and they will bring you joy. If you're having a falling out with somebody, that's something you need to fix. But people can bring you joy. And that can be part of your quality of life. Laughing with friends and family, photos, sharing photos, videos, that can be part of your quality of life.
Hi, I'm Sylvia Torstein here on Health, Wealth, and Happiness with my windblown hair here on the beautiful beaches in the morning before it gets too crazy. And here's my health. To your health. You don't know what's in this cup, do you? Tea. It's herbal tea. Roots and seeds and ground up things. Because I want to live a long time. the secrets to living to 100 and living to 100 healthily with good organs and good brain and memories and being able to walk and talk and enjoy all those around you. Drink for your health. Whatever's in here. Sharman's happiness word is family and good friends. Now, with someone with a busy schedule like yours, how do you make time for that happiness with family and good friends?
Good question. Good question. I set boundaries. My business is not, first of all, it doesn't consume me 24 hours a day. My business partners, they tease me. They're like, oh, you got to call Sharman before 9:30 because her phone goes to sleep and you can't get to her. Because I turn my phone, it goes into sleep mode. And only family can get through. And if they're calling me that late, it's usually an emergency. So they tease me. She's past her curfew. You better get to her. Yeah, I set boundaries around my work time. Because I set boundaries, I'm able to spend that time with family and friends. Like my granddaughter now is in California. So how I spend time with her is FaceTime. Technology is great. Way back in the 50s, if somebody lived in California, it was like they lived on the other side of the planet. You were writing letters and then you had to wait for the letter to come and all of that. Now I can pick up the phone. I just talked to her this morning. Pick up the phone and FaceTime her and, spend time laughing and joking. We talk about Bridgerton. Can't wait for the next episode to come out. We're knocking it down on our calendar and we can share like that. One of the things that I did with her as well as my children when they were growing up to spend time with family is talk with them, not to them or at them, talk to them. We will watch the same movies. As she's gotten older, my granddaughter's gotten older, we read the same books. Yeah, I read young adult. Because then I can talk to her about it's something for us to have a conversation about other than the usual conversations people have with if they're in a parental role. It's always like, I don't want to say talking down, talking at. And that's something I miss with my mom. My mom passed away when I was 18, just when we were getting at the point where we could talk to each other. And she wasn't just talking at me. And so I miss the conversations that we could have had. So I think that's why I work at having conversations with my kids and with my granddaughter. So we could sit in the restaurant and be laughing and joking and having a good time. And people are asking like, how do you do that? I fight with my daughter. I do this with my daughter. I'm like, well, she has her own life. I let her do what she wants to do. She wants to ask me questions. I'll answer her questions. Whether she takes advice or not is up to her because she's an adult. I've had friends, my best friend I've known since we were both 5 years old. And we can call each other now and we'll laugh and joke on the phone. Oh, that laughter, that type of relationship is a great relationship to have. I have a group of friends. We're planning a cruise. And we just go on the cruise. And during the day, you do what you're going to do. And then we come together at dinner and you talk about your day. But being around people that you care about and spending time talking with them, laughing with them, sharing with them, that is priceless. That's priceless. And you never forget those things. You never forget those times.
Yeah, and I think there's something else underlying it all. You're a good listener too.
Oh, okay. If you my granddaughter would say, no, no, because she's always interrupting me to say stuff. And she's like, and she'll have to say, Nanny, just hold it. And yeah, and people are surprised. She talks to you that way. Isn't that rude and disrespectful? I'm like, no, it's not like that. We don't have that kind of yes, ma'am, no, ma'am relationship. And so she can talk to me like that. She knows I'm her grandmother. She knows when I'm serious. And, I listen to her because she has good opinions, good ideas. So why not listen? But when sometimes she's like, Nanny, just hold it. Wait a minute. I wasn't finished yet.
Was there a time in your life when you realized that you needed to prioritize your happiness?
Yes, when I started hating what I did.
Mm.
When I did it's my business, I picked it, I love it, but it's like it became a chore. It became a chore. When life becomes a chore, that's when you need to step back, and that's what I did, step back and say, "Okay, what's going on here? All right, you're putting yourself into this business 24/7. This is not good. You are not happy. You don't even want to do it anymore because you're not happy. Okay, we need to set parameters. We need to set boundaries. What's the most important thing is that I take care of myself because if I can't take care of myself, I can't help other people, which is something I really love doing. I can't help other people if I don't take care of myself. So I have to be happy. And that's when I realized that I'm like, okay, let's put some boundaries in place. Let's start doing something so you can keep that happiness there.
The current position that you have, you're a founder of Sharman Enterprises.
Mhm.
When did that come to you? Were you still working in law at that time that this was
Yeah.
something you wanted to do?
Yeah, I was still working in law at that time, and well, I liked what I did. I like bossing the lawyers around. That's what judges do. We boss the lawyers around. Well, what I didn't like was the work environment. I didn't like the office politics, the 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 drama that comes in an environment when you have a whole lot of people and different competing agendas. And then one day I was the chief judge. I was running my office, and then one day I came to work and I was no longer the chief judge. They gave my position to somebody else and just demoted me back to staff judge. I was not happy. And that's when I was exposed to an opportunity where people were supporting each other, helping each other, sharing information. Uh, it was like it's like heaven. It's like this is what heaven is supposed to look like. This is what heaven will look like. People of all different races and creeds and color that come together and genuinely support, help, and celebrate each other. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to bring other people into this environment so that they know there are other ways to live other than the way they've been taught, and you don't have to put up with the demeaning attitudes in the workplace, the toxicity in the workplace. You can go someplace, make money for your family, have a quality of life, have no worries about money, be happy. And all of that came together, and there's no office politics. That's why I say I love what I do.
Isn't that amazing? See, it just comes right back around.
Yes.
Did you write the book yet?
No, I'm writing it now. I wrote one book, but now I'm writing a different book. I started a draft about 3 years ago, and it didn't go anywhere until I saw, a colleague's post on LinkedIn. And the post was, ways to make income passively. And it was like, "Write an ebook." I'm like, "I can do that. I can write an ebook. I wrote a book. Let me take my thoughts that I have put down in an outline and create an ebook." So that's what I'm working on now.
And I can't wait. We'll have to share that when it comes out too.
Yes, yes.
So, every life and everyone is different when it comes to family and friends and, getting rid of that toxicity whether it comes to family or friends and when you're realizing, boy, these people have brought me down, or just like you said, you got pushed into a change that you didn't even know was about to happen, but saw how wonderful things were on the other side.
Mhm.
So, what could you give to somebody for advice who keeps, so to speak, hitting their head on the wall, like, I don't know how to get out of this to find that happiness?
First of all, I would say come to a realization that you have to do something different. One of the reasons you probably keep hitting your head against the wall is because you keep doing the same thing, hoping other people will change. No, the person that needs to change is you, because you're the only person that you can change. You can't change your spouse, you can't change your significant other, your partner, your child. You can't change them. because there are people just like you with personalities just like you. So you have to start with yourself. Change yourself. Change can be scary. I know, been there. It can be kind of frightening to make changes. I would advise, instead of jumping out of the window, so to speak, as if to say, do it all at once, do it gradually. Do small things. Do small things gradually to make changes in your life. One of the things that made a big change in my life, and I didn't realize I even needed it, was personal development. I had never heard of personal development before until I started my business. And when the person told me, I was like, does this person realize I have 2 degrees? I don't need any more education. But I was respectful. I got the book, and what I found, personal development builds how you think up here and how you react. So I would advise a person to start personal development. Not only can you get books, there are YouTube videos that you can follow. Who can you follow? And Instagram, you can follow people on Instagram. The people that put out those good messages that make you go, oh, I like that. That's personal development. Those are the people you need to follow, not the person that's telling you about the bad thing that happened when they went into Target, and what the person did or didn't do. That's not the person you need to follow on social media. Follow the person on social media who's putting stuff out that make you go, that. I like that. And they make you smile. That will help you in your personal development. And on my website, I think on my website, because I used to do a blog on personal development, there is a chart, a 30-day jumpstart chart that will help you get started on personal development. So my advice, when somebody keeps hitting their head upside the wall and they're looking for happiness, start with yourself. Start making small changes in yourself.
If you could give the gift of health, wealth, or happiness, which one would you give and why?
I would give the gift of health, because when someone is healthy, they feel good about themselves. They feel good about interacting with other people. They have more energy and they can do things, help people interact with their family or friends, all of that kind of stuff. If you have gazillion dollars, but your health has you in the bedridden, that is not fun. But if you have health, you can go out and do things, be part of opportunities, be part, like, emails are coming out about this is going on in the park, movies in the park, this event is going on, that event is going on. So you can go out and do those different events if you have your health. And once you have your health, that's gold. That's, to me, that's golden also. That's golden, being healthy.
We have a question from our previous guest from season 1.
What woman has been a role model for you and why?
The person that was a role model for me, and I didn't realize it at the time, was my mother. My mother had lupus, and she was at home most of the time. She was at home all the time, unless one of her brothers came to pick her up to take her to the store, or she went to the doctor. But she was home all the time. But she could do so much with that telephone. She would call and call and call until she got what it is that she needed. And what I learned from her was to open your mouth to say what you want, what you need, and keep asking until you get it. And I didn't realize that until I became an adult. I didn't realize that, but I learned that from her. And the other thing my mother taught me was to stand on my own 2 feet. Stand on my own 2 feet. She used to always say, Sharman, you were born by yourself. You're going to the store by yourself. I can't make your cousins go with you. You'll be fine. You can do it by yourself. And so that's why the role model would be my mother, because that's what I did with my kids. This is what you do. This is how you live life. Stand on your own 2 feet. Ask until you get what it is that you want.
So Sharman, I have learned so many fun things about you today. I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, this was so much fun. I was nervous when I got started, but I enjoyed talking with you, Christina, and sharing my insights based upon my wisdom from being here on planet Earth. And I hope it helps somebody else.